Paintings are a fun thing. There's a lot of good ones out there, but just like with children, everyone has their favorite. My name's Moth, and you can figure out what this video is about. My favorite painting is Ivan the Terrible and his son Ivan by Ilya Repin. To explain the horrifying beauty of this painting, we need to look at it from different angles, the first of which being: first, we look at one of the two subjects of this painting. Ivan the Terrible was the Tsar and Grand Prince of all Russia from 1547 to 1584. His reign was most known for Russia's transformation to an empire and the immense cost it had on its people and economy. Ivan the Terrible wasn't a nice guy, as you could tell. When he got to power, he basically immediately got rid of all his advisors and started the Livonian War not much after. This war, which lasted from 1558 to 1583, ravaged Russia, causing them to fail in taking over Linovia and Lostom Ingria, both of which are regions that at different times of history were not part of Russia. It wasn't all bad though, if you were Ivan the Terrible, that is, as the loss of the war opened the door for him to establish a stronger autocratic control over Russia's nobility. His later years, on the other hand, were marked by the Tatars, an umbrella term for different Turkic ethnic groups, who caused things like the massacre of Novgorod and the burning of Moscow. But his reign wasn't all wars and murder. He was the one who brought the printing press to Russia. And you gotta love the printing press. And he furthered connections to Western Europe, especially England. Secondly, let's look at his son, Ivan. Ivan Ivanovich isn't particularly known for anything except dying. He was 24 when he died, supposedly struck down by his own father, which is exactly what this painting depicts. The story goes as follows. The younger Ivan's wife, Elena Sheremeteva, sorry if I mispronounced that, was heavily pregnant at the time, and the elder Ivan didn't think her clothes were suitable for this situation. This led to an argument between the father and son, which ended in the elder Ivan striking his heir with his cane. The painting depicts the moment shortly after the incident. The Tsar is applying pressure to the head wound he dealt his son, trying to stop the bleeding. In his eyes a look of despair, fear and remorse. It's this very look that draws me to the painting. I've already explained the historical context of this painting, but you don't need to know it to understand the raw emotion it evokes. That's not to discredit the work that went into the younger Ivan's expression. A very different, yet very similar emotion. The blank stare of acceptance and sadness is a strong image on its own. The two faces in tandem, however, show the true horror of the violence which just unfolded. But what brought Repin to create this painting? The painting was created between 1883 and 1885 by the Russian realist Ilya Repin. While it depicts Ivan Ivanovich's death in 1581, the inspiration between the creation was the political events which had taken place in 1881. What happened in 1881, you might wonder? Well, it was the year that Alexander II, Emperor of Russia, was assassinated. The assassination itself is of little importance to this video. Much like the painting we are discussing, we must focus on what happened right after the death. Alexander II was seen as a very tolerant man, especially towards Jews, which sadly was anything but normal at the time. In his reign, he lifted special taxes that Jews previously had to pay, allowed them to move anywhere in Russia after graduating from secondary school, and even opened up the opportunity of state employment for Jewish people, which was a lot more than other countries provided for their Jewish population. His son, Alexander III, on the other hand, didn't share his father's kindness, and reversed much of the work his father had done. Repin was present at both the assassination of the Emperor and the execution of the assassins. According to Repin's friend, the poet Wassily Kamensky, Repin called the execution complex and appalling. The witnessing of death and violence changed Repin, forming his creations for years to come. This year followed like a trace of blood. Our feelings were bruised by the horror of the contemporary world, he said. And so, this painting, like many others, is dedicated to the violence he witnessed. Dedicated to what he had felt in the moments after. The painting came from a man so horrified and appalled by the things he had witnessed. One must wonder if the elder Ivan's expression symbolizes a remorseful killer or a scared witness. This is the unscripted part of the video that destroys my viewer retention. I'm off. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so I figured I better introduce myself. I like art. I do art. If you like art, maybe subscribe. If you want to, you can go to the comments and tell me what I did wrong. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. I'll see you on the other side.